Okay, okay. Let's go. Storm's past. We are here, and we are as ready as we're going to get-ish. Something like that. Let's see, what is this doing? Got that done. Sick. Got that slotted into the new holder. Cool. Okay. Let's see. Escape. End flight. Yesterday was a 66. Today we're ending in Roma. Set as arrival. So we're going to change. Let's do the cow in Sim 66 today. Damn, no warning. You're right. So storm was good. No point in waiting like 3 minutes. Let's just get into it. I want like a dark blue or something. I like yellow too because that's the Helicopter Express one. Looks decent. Oh, that orange is kind of cool. Where have I seen that orange? Who does that one? London Helicopter, that's right. Castrol colors? I need. Ah, that's interesting. Italy. Cool. I like it. We'll roll with it. Cool, that's good. So we're starting Sunshine Coast. Actually, we'll do here. This is departure. And we want to go by Toombaloombaloom. Dark gray or black? Where's the liveliness in that? Okay, it's more south of here, so we're looking like, there we go. Let me go and change flight conditions, make sure they're all up to snuff. Yeah, whatever, we're good. That's good enough. Good enough. Let's see, put my phone back there. Yeah, we're doing Castrol colors. We're doing old school rally shit today. Yeah, driving home from the... Okay, into the ground. Okay, maybe I'll fix my headset. See, I went to the car show thing tonight, and on the way back, Looking kind of cloudy. And we could see some rain starting to come down. Saw some lightning and stuff. And then, yeah, this looks pretty fucking good. I like this. Not bad. Okay, cool. Shift C. Get in here. Get rid of that. And we can change cockpit and stuff in here too, so. I feel tall. Great. Yeah, we had some pretty serious thunder for a little bit, so. Those are on, da-da-da, that's on. Cool. Testing means nothing to me. Ooh, and we actually have functioning throttle on this one. That's fun. I can still shrink a little bit. And actually, I can even check this before we get too into it. East USA 51. Let's see, look over here. Oop. Live. East USA 51 milliseconds. Save. Okay, resume. And back short again. Perfect. Of course, it doesn't top fuel off, so we'll click the fuel button till we're up to the 532 liters. No, I won't. Generator on, you piece of shit. Slowly start turning that up. Okay, yeah, Tom. So, there's two things, like I said, in the Discord about what's going on in the world right now. For everybody watching, I said there were two things that were likely going to happen. One would be the Samson option. Two would be something with the Nimitz. Most likely that I see is that the USS Nimitz, which is a big supercarrier, it is actually scheduled to be decommissioned next year. Why would they send something that's so far out of date out to a conflict when its replacement's already out and about doing things? Well, there's this thing called the USS Liberty, which, if you're not familiar with it, it was a ship that we had out in the Mediterranean back in like 1968, I think. And, yeah, Israel bombed it. They said, wait a second, this is American. They said, we don't care, bomb it. And then they continued to attack it for like 4 to 5 hours. Killed like 40 to 70 of our sailors or something like that. 38 maybe? I don't know. Anyway, killed a lot of our sailors. And they were just like, oopsie, we didn't know it was you. And it's like, no, like, you knew it was us. And they finally just apologized for it like a couple of years ago. So I could see a false flag attack happening on the USS Nimitz. The other one is the Samson option, which is basically their nuclear code saying, oh my god, we're getting our ass handed to us, so we need to do something to keep ourselves from dying, and it's nuke all of your opponents. And they don't have to have nuclear force used or threatened against them. It's just if they're losing, they can use their Samson option, which is nuke everybody else. Sunshine Coast International Tower. This is helicopter 420 Foxtrot Whiskey Call Sign Fuckwagon. We are on the ramp in front of Blue Tongue, looking to depart to the southwest. We'll stay clear of the active. Good, good, good. You can go, blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. Onward. We'll just overfly these airplanes. No big deal. We'll get some height off the ground. Yeah, so that is your USS Nimitz. I would expect a false flag from that, being one of our carriers. Don't fuck with our boats, it's kind of our thing. And the other would be a Samson option event. And that's because they're currently engaged with attacks on 4 different countries. So there's a chance that they're kind of wearing themselves thin a little bit. Of course, they do have a lot of power and stuff behind them from other things, but they don't do anything themselves. Everything that they have is supplied to them. No, you said tell Donnie T not to nuke. Well, I don't think the nuking's an option from old Donnie T here in the U.S. I think if a nuke is going to happen, it's going to be from Israel. Using their Samson option, but much more likely I'm worried about a Nimitz event happening where they bomb our ship and then they use it to make it look like Iran or somebody else did it. Therefore, casting us into war for Israel again. Yeah, I don't want any nukes flying. Not on my to-do list. But I did put a few $1,000s in stocks in the war companies. So, you know, that's how hopeful I am that nothing's going to happen. That limit light is so annoying. Like, literally nothing I'm doing is anywhere near the limit. I'm barely pushing forward. We're barely at, like, quarter collective. We're at... What does it pop up? Is it, like, over 90% in one? No? Or, like, 60% torque? I'm curious what the threshold for limit turning on is. I haven't read the handbook on the A-Star platform, so I've got no idea. All I know is I've basically ridden limit the entire time before, and it's done nothing. Oh no, did I not bring my water bottle over here? Oh no, it's within reach. I think. Oh, I got it. Oh wow, already? I need, yeah. Jeez, okay, that's weird. Freaking, does the stream keep pausing for you? On my phone, it keeps crapping off on me. Oh. But Italy, obviously. I wonder if they... Better sounds in this one versus the stock one. I wonder if they know the English is I need. Or if it's... stands for or means something. Robert, hello. All is well, thank you for asking. Yeah, there's still some clouds outside, but I didn't want to wait until 10:30 or 11 our time. Because that would make it too late, and I don't want to throw a whole night for when it's just cloudy. Which I already paused and waited. I started 30 minutes later than I wanted to because of the rain. I was pretty much ready to stream as soon as we got home from the car show at like 8:45. Turned the computer on, made a thumbnail. The VR headset was working. Everything was set up. It was working good. But, yeah, for some reason, this rain afterward just wants to keep bugging us. So, what other instruments we got in this? We can do... Oh, that's down there. Okay. So we have a bigger Garmin, which I've never been able to get these things to... Oh. Will it work now? Hey. Pretty cool. Yeah, okay, I know a new version available. So yeah, we got a 750 down there. Or we can do... old panel. With the manual gauges, but we have the GTN down here. Which honestly, I'm okay either one. Because at the end of the day, I'm just following this purple line around, and we're kind of just taking a... what heading is this? Like a 2-1 heading. Oh. The glass is harder to see. So you prefer gauges over this? Yeah, it's kind of blurry. Kind of got to be down here for it to be cleared up. Which I can see my purple line down there. Fine, that's what I need. That's what my flight director needs. Which really, I mean, I can just say we're doing a little less than a 2-1 heading for like, what, 30 more minutes or something like that. So, whatever. The old steamies. Let's ride the limit a little bit. Get our ponies up and then come back off of it and coast it. I pay for... what is it? One of those copyright-free music services. So when I do make a video, I can put music on it. That's not going to copyright me. I pay like $100 a year for that shit. What about background music? Would background music be okay in here? Or is it something where we're more... Ooh, there's power poles up here. Or would it be more of something that, glass houses, correct? Glass houses over there? Are we more wanting the sound of the helicopter? Because, like, we could put on, like, a very faint background music so there's just something. Doesn't have to be anything crazy. But it's an option. I'll let you guys discuss that, and we'll see if we can do it for one of the next streams. Slight background would be good. Okay, I'll need to figure out which one I have and if they have a playthrough whatever option. Which I'm sure they do. It's just a matter of figuring out how to set it up to do it. Because some days, I don't want to say that I'm boring, but some days I'm pretty fucking boring. And I know it. That is Glass House Mountains. Nice. Are the Apostles something different? Because that's on a beach, correct? Or off the coast somewhere? I'm just thinking back to shit that I saw in Forza Horizon 3. I saw Glasshouse Mountains. I started flying to them. I forgot we were taking a heading. They're in the water. Oh, okay. Southern Australia. Yeah, it's always funny how, like I'm not going to consider this a video game for this story or whatever, but it's funny how, like, video games would be like, cool, we're going to base something on an area, but it's, like, such a compressed size. Like, Forza Horizon 3, pretty big map, you know? But, like, all the apostles were within, like, 1 mile altogether. You know, like, kind of in the water, kind of on the beach, because they wanted you to be able to drive next to them and interact with them or whatever. It's kind of like when you look at we got Victor Hotel Papa Q, Quebec, Golf. Another DA40. What was I saying? Oh yeah, like GTA 5, shrinking all of Los Angeles and California down into a map the size of the Denver airport. This is 1-to-1 scale, obviously. But it is kind of crazy to see the amount of work and effort and stuff that goes into a lot of that to make the map seem so much bigger, where, like, you don't have long off views of places until they want you to see it, because they want it to feel like you had to drive a long way to get to a certain place. Like, map making is an art in itself. I'm not going to say that's something like, ooh, I've always respected the people who do the map making. But, yeah, the people who make the maps, like, there's a talent to it, that's for sure. Because me driving GTA 5, it's like, shit, you think it's fucking huge. Which I was aware of the trick. I forgot Australia's really pesky about artifacts near the ground. Like, I was aware of the speed trick that they would do, where, like, you would get a Lamborghini or something, and you would drive at full speed up the highway. But you would be, like, barely passing other traffic, even though you'd been accelerating the entire time, because they want you to feel like they changed the camera inputs to where it kind of looks like the reduced field of view, tunnel vision sort of thing, and it makes you feel like you're going faster, but you're not. So it makes it seem like it takes a long time to get across the map. Because if you're really doing 150 miles an hour, like, how long does it take to go down a runway somewhere, or 2 runways if you're doing back-to-back? Like, okay, cool, like 4 minutes and you're across the map, and then the state of San Andreas seems so much smaller. Yeah, thanks, Cam. We just had one go through us. I was going to try to do this now. We'd chop back on, yeah, like, we were watching a storm come in as we were coming home. We had a decent storm, good thunder and stuff. I think it's mostly past us, unless something else pops up just because of summer storm shit. But I think we're pretty clear here now. But thanks. Also, welcome back. Good to see you again. Been doing some night riding? Hell yeah. Like drinking and driving, or just like riding bicycles at night? Because both are acceptable. Yeah, Cam, when I saw that person driving today leaving the show, I was like, oh, of course it was one of them. Just reinforces my... I can't read emojis, that looks like a bicycle. Okay. But yeah, it just reinforces all my stereotypes. Like, cool, don't like them. Sorry. But yeah, Cam, you gotta come down here one day and try out the sim. You gotta wiggle my stick a little bit, you know? Just like I gotta try out your driving thing. Which, who was it? I think... Was it Ronnie in here last night talking? There was somebody that's a relatively regular viewer in here last night talking about truck driving sim. Yeah, we got hit first. Anyway, he's talking about truck driving sim for like Euro and American and stuff, and I was like, yeah, like I have the reasons why I bought flight sim to teach myself how to hover and everything. So obviously, I'm not doing this because I like simming. I'm doing this because I want to learn how to hover and save money on the real thing. I am going to tempt you. But yeah, I would consider a driving sim, but it would have to be like a badass Fantech setup with kind of like a whole sled that you sit on so you're locked in, like adjustable seat, all that shit. A motion legs to tilt it around would be sick, but I think like a seat kicker would be pretty good. Adios, GPS. Have fun on your ride. Be safe. Yeah, I wanted to get up to FD, but not working. I know that anytime I go up to FD, I always spend like $400 fucking on food and going up there and ticket. Anyways, it's like, cool, I'm just whatever. I'm not gonna go up there, and if I want to watch it online, I'll watch it online. You know. I'm basically hibernating. And any money that I do spend, it's pointing more towards an investment more than anything. You know, it's like I do have money set aside, so if I see something kind of like the Starlink thing that you were talking about, where I could buy into something like that. Sorry about that. And maybe have some sort of an income off of it. But other than that, anything I'm spending, it's not frugal. It's survival and it's maybe investment. Okay, I remember this lake from yesterday, I believe. Let me move this to the side. Because yesterday we kind of did more of a tour type thing. Yeah, because we came up into here. Today's basically our one backtrack day. I guess we'll kind of have a backtrack day once we get to maybe a little bit in northern Africa to get to an optimal place for crossing. Because I want to hit the pyramids and I want to hit Benghazi. But I don't know if there's anything else in Africa than it's a water crossing up to Greece or Italy or wherever we're close to. Steve, welcome back. $750 deposit? Jeez. Are you going to Jersey? I mean, the winds are there. I play live weather for the most part. Sometimes we'll kick it on to do crosswind stuff. But also I'm doing helicopter things. I'm not exactly a fixed wing person. So I know there were some talks when 2024 first came out. Of the winds being different or different wind models, something. I don't know. And then I remember watching a lot of reviews of the airline people or the airline simmers or fixed wing simmers talking about whatever. But dude, for the most part, like everything I'm dealing is dealing pretty low to the ground, and like I can stop and hover in it. So I'm, don't know. It could be better, could be worse. Honestly, I couldn't tell you. But I want to say, like, if you're really, really curious, like, I'd say look into some of my, like, V1 simulations or something and ask him. Because he's a real airline pilot with Southwest, I think. Or he was at one point. And he always goes pretty in depth, like how stuff feels and how the different all the different updates and whatever give him different feels, because he has a pretty solid sim setup too. But for what I know and for what I notice, it seems it seems good, seems doable. I'm also not flying in crazy weather, and I can always change my approaches and departures because I'm a helicopter and I can just leave off the ramp. So, I mean, like, I enjoy FD, but honestly, dude, I haven't watched it in, like, other than when I went to Atlanta last year, I don't think I watched any other rounds last year. And I've, like, casually watched the rounds of FD this year. It's just like there's nothing that's tickling my pickle. You know, like that. There's no weird. I mean, I'm sure there are neat cars in FD, obviously, but there's nothing that's like really, really catching my attention. So, like, I haven't really paid that much attention to it. I'll look at clips, I'll see the good battles and stuff on Instagram, but I'm not mentally invested in it right now. And I think part of that is because I'm not working. All investment, like interest and dividends and whatever from any stocks or cryptos or whatever, all that's going towards helicopter lessons and eventual helicopter purchase once I'm private, so that way I can have a little 22 or 44 to fly personally and then lease to a school. So when I do car stuff, the first thing I want to do is like, damn, let me go buy a car. Like, I bought a little dirt bike for my friend's bachelor party. And dude, like, every day on Marketplace, I'm like, okay, cool. Like, let me look at some street bikes. Let me look at this. Let me look at this. Anytime I hang out with, like, a stunt dude and we do a car thing, it's like, okay, cool. Let me look at getting this or getting this or getting this. So it's, I think I'm mentally putting myself out of the car space. Is that a little runway? Yeah, that's Watts Bridge. Yeah, I'm kind of mentally putting myself out of it just because I'm too tempted. Griffin, one driven through there. I've driven through there, yeah. Cool little town. It's gotten better. Still kind of shit in some areas. But, Was the Sears out to, was it Watts Bridge that we did the Sears at? I remember the Sears flight, I just don't remember where we took off or where we landed. I don't know where any of the Dumb and Dumber stuff was shot. Like, I kind of really only know stuff that I've worked on. Like, any show that I've worked on, I can pretty much tell you location, location, location. Or if it's a show where... Well, also on top of this, like, I don't watch TV, I don't watch movies. So I can't... Like, oh yeah, I remember seeing this thing, but like, on the off chance that I do see a TV show or a movie filmed in Georgia, I'm pretty good at spotting where it's been. Your DTR lives in Noonan. Yeah, my homie lives out in Noonan. My one of my friend homies. Well, that's what a homie is. One of my airplane friend homies. Actually, got to go out there next weekend, I believe. Oh, is there to where we're heading? Oh, okay, cool. I don't know, for some reason I just remember the field looking different. I don't know. Oh, no, yeah, I remember now, because it was this runway here, and... Okay, yeah, I just saw this one. When we flew by, I didn't see this one there. Gotcha. Yep, I remember Watts Bridge now. But yeah, Noonan. Like, they're... I don't think I filmed anything in downtown Noonan. I filmed around Noonan, plenty of places, but I don't think I've worked on anything downtown Noonan. I'm upset because they film in Griffin a good bit, and they filmed in Jackson a good bit. Jackson for Stranger Things. And it's like, I've never gotten the pleasure to work on a show that works down there. Yeah, I did Walking Dead. You can actually see my face in it. I did crew. I started out doing background on Walking Dead. And then I worked my way into crew, and when I wasn't doing the crew, I was doing background stuff. So if you look in the Hilltop community, seasons 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and I may have done like 1 or 2 episodes of 11. I don't remember. But there is a blacksmith in the Hilltop community. I think you really don't like see me until later 7 or 8. But thinner white dude, beard, facial hair, scraggly, whatever. That's me. That's multi-shot Matt in The Walking Dead as background. And then like other, like literally like the next day I'd be there working crew. But yeah, I bumped around The Walking Dead. Do I have a clip? I don't think so. I know a few people did like screenshots and recording and stuff like that. And would tag me and stuff, but I've pretty much untagged just about everything because I don't care. It means nothing to me. It's like, okay, cool, like minimum wage days, yay guys. Sean Watson. What does he do? What's his job? But I want to say there's like a Walking Dead character, like fandom wiki thing where they like went through all the episodes and cataloged all the background actors. So you can find me on that, and it has like all episodes and whatever marked. Sean Watson. Yeah, they got most of them. I haven't checked in a long time. There was like 1 or 2 people doing it, and I don't know how in-depth they got in the later seasons because I wasn't working on much on like 11 and 12 and stuff, so. #1 fan. I don't know. I don't think so. I pretty much knew the people in the little background community, like the Hilltop. I knew the props team because I was in the props department, special effects team, and a couple of the wardrobe girls for appropriate reasons. But dude, Walking Dead was wild because of like the walker stalkers and stuff like that would sit outside the studio. And like, you would go park at background parking, and they would bus us in, and these people would be sitting in like folding chairs next to the security gate, like waving whenever vans and buses came in and stuff. And like, I've been fans. I've been a fan of shows and productions, you know, like back when I used to watch TV a lot, I would always be like, okay, cool, like I really enjoyed, let's say Westworld. Like I binged Supernatural, The Office, How I Met Your Mother, all that stuff. I could never see myself waiting outside of somewhere just to see somebody drive by. Of course, like I've also worked in the film industry on and off since like 2012, and then full-time since like 2015 or 16 or something. So I'm kind of immune to celebrity or the thought of celebrity. It's just been like, okay, cool, like whatever, me and whatever actor were hungry after work one day, and he's like, cool, you want to go to Waffle House? So yeah, I'm going into Waffle House at like 3 a.m. with like a couple of the main actors. Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, really, really good. I forgot about those. I didn't watch Breaking Bad until the last season. Binged through it. And then I think I watched like the last 4 or 5 episodes as they released on TV. Better Call Saul, season 1, kind of slow, but it was also necessary to like really establish the background, the histories of everything to build to what the next season would get. But I legitimately think Better Call Saul in like the last 2 seasons was just as good, if not better, than Breaking Bad. Super, super good. You know, if anybody ever asks about those, I highly suggest those. But I'm also like picky with shows too. Like a lot of my friends are big Game of Thrones enthusiasts, and it's like, cool, I watched like 1 episode, didn't care. Wookie, what's going on, dude? Haven't seen you in a bit. But like Game of Thrones, didn't care for it. The Witcher, didn't care for it. I'm just not a dragon, medieval age, whimsical, whatever sort of show person. It could be a really, really good show, but just that time period, that aesthetic, that whatever, just it does nothing for me. So I was never a fan of any of those. Like I said, they could be great. You know, there's a lot of good effort that goes into them, a lot of like groundbreaking things that they did. I just never cared for it. Respect to the show, but just not my style. But that's the same thing with a lot of things, you know, like everybody has to have their own taste. Some people can be wrong, but they can have their own taste. Like, I enjoy well-executed technology type stuff, or stuff that seems like in the realm of realism, and I like Western. Done right. So Westworld really, really, really tickled my fancy. Production value was crazy. As somebody who works in the film industry, it's very, very cool to see because I know how diverse the stars are just people, and some are jerks. Some are jerks for sure. A lot are cool. Some are super fucking cool. Some are jerks. It's usually like the lower level people who just got like their first big title that are kind of assholes. What was I saying? But yeah, Westworld. So like knowing how the film industry is. Let's see, what's this? Click on the weather here. Rain may form in the next 29 minutes, okay. Let's go to radar and see what's around us. Okay, there's another one just forming to the north, but I think we're good. Discord. Okay, give me a second. Yeah. But yeah, I've worked with a lot of celebrities who are like super fucking cool people, so I'm not going to judge too much until I meet them, you know? Discord, by the way, people watching, if you want to be in the Discord, we do have a Discord server. If you check the About channel thing, if you go to the Multi-Shot Matt YouTube channel, I have a link to my Instagram and Discord there. Six hours. Oh, goodness. Dude, those slings have some fucking range, so I don't want to say good luck to him because I'm probably sure, or I'm sure he probably knows what he's doing, so. And people are posting in the other Discord. There will be no more stamps for SBR, suppressors, AOWs, SPSs. It changes the language of the NFA to define firearm as a machine gun or destructive device. The only approval will be if you pass your 4473. Okay, cool. Interesting. Yes, I am on multiplayer. If you check the description, I have the server listed. And I'm on live everything. Live traffic, live weather, live players. So if you get in and you get into the server that's in the description, right now we're coming up to... Tom, what's the name of this airport that we're going to? Tomboulourou or something like that? Anyways, we're coming up to some fucking airport up here. So if you want to hop in, that'd be a good place to spawn into. And then you can fly along with me as we make our way out to Roma, which will be, I assume, an hour and 20 minutes or so. Yeah, that message I was just kind of reading out loud was the big beautiful bill. Trump's big whatever bill they're trying to pass through changes language on the National Firearms Act, which, for anybody unfamiliar, that's the laws that went into effect that makes it where if you wish to purchase a short-barreled rifle, which is a rifle with a barrel under the length of 16 inches, short-barrel shotgun, which is a shotgun less than 18 inches, I think, or a suppressor, or an AOW. AOW is like any other weapon, where it's just like if you have something that kind of like falls kind of in the gray areas, it covers that. Those will no longer be on the NFA, so you no longer have to pay a $200 tax stamp to Wamba. That's it. I remember it was a TOOWOO. I just couldn't remember, or I knew it was something OO, something OOBA. So yeah, Toowoomba. Toowoomba. Anyways, it removes short-barrel rifles, short-barrel shotguns, AOWs, and suppressors off of the NFA, which means no more paying a $200 tax stamp, no more having to wait. Previously, like on the suppressors that I have, I waited like One of them I waited like 398 days for an approval. Womb, not womb. Womb. Toowoomba. Got it. But yeah, it removes those from the NFA, so your normal thing that you go to the gun store to purchase a rifle or a pistol or whatever, where you fill out the paperwork, and if you have your concealed carry permit, at least in the state of Georgia, then you can just purchase it and be on your way. Or if you don't have your concealed carry permit, they run the quick background check on you, and if you pass that and you get your gun, it'll be the same thing for suppressors and stuff now, and short barrel rifles and short barrel shotguns. So, very cool. And even though it's not like a bombshell win where everything's rebuked and whatever, it is a very big win, because then different advocacy groups can come back later and say like, hey, you already passed this and this went through. Guess what? This also covers the language of a lot of other things. So they can sue or counter-sue or whatever into a lot of other stuff being cleared off and easier and non-illegal. But with that said, I may order a couple of suppressors and wait to see if the bill passes and just have them sit at the store. And if the bill passes, then I'll just go in there and pay the transfer fee that the store would charge for ordering something online to them. Or if it doesn't pass, then I'll just go in and pay the $200 tax. But I'd kind of like almost rather purchase it now to get my hands on it before there's a huge backlog of people just fucking buying these things everywhere. Because right now a lot of people don't want to get it because they don't want to put their name on a list, they don't want to wait, they don't want to pay the $200, blah, 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 whatever. Which, understandable, you know? Everybody's on their own thing. I'm like, look, dude, if you're already looking at buying a suppressor, you're already on a list, so don't worry about that. Now it's just a matter of, do you want a suppressor? And it used to be like, if you want a suppressor next year, buy it now. But they changed the way that the approval process works, or the way that they go through and they look at the paperwork when they do it. So it went from being like a 1 year or more waiting period when I got mine to a like 1 day to 2 week waiting period, which is way, way, way better. Still not happy that you have to go through a waiting period. Still not happy that you have to pay an extortion fee to get something that you've been told is legal to own. But, you know, it's slow wins here and there. Some pools. Big thunder outside. Deep thunder. And we got my brother's dog in here right now. Hey, Thor, what's going on? He enjoys my room. It's, I got a couple of couches and stuff down here. TV. It's kind of like in the back corner because it's like the most, like the quietest room to set up to do something like this. And with it being the quietest room, guess what? It's also the quietest and most secure room from the storm. So he likes it down here. That said, I'm going to check the weather again as we're coming in here. Got Victor Hotel Whiskey Golf Lima, a C-150 up here. Old Cessna. That storm sure as shit still forming to the north. Anyways. Toowoomba Airport. This is helicopter 420 Foxtrot Whiskey Call Sign Fuckwagon. We're like a mile away. Kind of coming in from the northeast. We're just going to go straight to ramp and steal a little bit of fuel from you. Toowoomba traffic. Also, Toowoomba, we are not going to stay clear of the active. You have to wait for us now. So we're lowering the collective a little bit, pulling back on the cyclic, trying to maintain about the same altitude, maybe dropping like 300 feet per minute, which is what it looks like we're doing there. I can always pull back more to not lose that altitude and slow down quicker, but we're trying to make it to the ramp over here, which I believe is where they have the fuel stand modeled at. Got the headset adjusted, coming on in. Yes, I know, decision height. It's clear, I can see the runway. We're going to go for it. Oh, there's a little helipad here for us. That's where we're going to go. What do you know? All these dudes, they're going to try to flag me, and I'm not going to fucking listen to them. What are y'all walking around for? Clear right, clear left. We're just coming up here for fuel. Watch your heads, please. Actually, looks like the fuel's on the other side. Doesn't matter, because I'm just going to click the F button on my controls. Okay, cool. What type of plane do they have that modeled as? No fucking shit. It's a stagger wing. No shit. Okay, we're topped off on fuel. We're going to go follow this fucking stagger wing real quick. Okay, Toowoomba, we're going to go follow this poorly modeled. Or no, it says BE-17. Is it a Beach 17 for fucking real? Is that what Victor Hotel Tango Whiskey Bravo is? And if y'all are unaware, I absolutely adore the stagger wing. Holy shit, we're going to follow this thing the entire time. At least after takeoff. And if you can't tell, it's a bi-wing airplane. It has an enclosed cockpit, very cool. And the main gear is retractable. And the wings are kind of staggered. The top one is a bit further back. Are you going to back taxi? Hope not. But when the gear goes up on these things, oh my god, they look so good. It's a 172 in real life? Damn. It's depressing. If I Google search the name of the helicopter company, will it pop up? If the answer is yes, then yeah, we can do that. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Come back, Stagger. No. I flew too close to the sun. Yeah, if I can Google the name, then let me know and I'll land real quick. And yeah, what's the name of the helicopter company? We'll go in and drop by and say, hey, I'll do a direct to them. Sent it to Discord. Okay. Are you sure you sent it? I don't see anything yet. Oh, you said I'll send it to you. Okay, cool. Waiting then. In other news, we got 8 people in here. What's going on, guys? If you haven't said anything, hello and welcome. If you have said anything, then hello and welcome. Let's see. Oh yeah, so it's just like right down the street. Okay, there's the curve. It's like right here. Guess there's like 2 buildings, little hangars. Okay, cool, copy. Actually, it looks much more like to be the place to the right of it. This place here that it looks like it's a relatively new place that they got, because correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the spot, correct? It just looks like it's old photogrammetry here. Yeah, and I did a Google Street View, and that's definitely it. Okay. Cool, we'll swing by there. It's not photogrammetried into the game yet, but we're gonna do it. Put my phone back in the holder. That's the spot. Okay, Zaboombafoo traffic. This is helicopter taking up all your space here. We're gonna be departing from the... Is it Alpha 2? Yeah, we're going to be departing from a taxiway Alpha 2 helipad. Zaboombafoo traffic. If you don't know what Zaboombafoo is, then sorry. It's funny, I kind of have to like fight myself taking off because I get so used to the Robinson and Bell and stuff like that with a power pedal left. Or I was putting like heavy left pedal and I was like, wait a second. So I had to kind of recorrect myself for that. Anyways. There it is. Taxiing around again. But yeah, if you look up pictures of a stagger wing, especially when they're in flight, man, they look so good. Such a good looking helicopter. Absolutely bonerific. Okay, onward we go, swinging by Helicopters Australia. Which looks like they got a couple of Robbies in the hangar from the picture. They may have more, but I didn't look at an Instagram or website or anything, so. So if you were to head to whatever this town was called, near this airport, and you head just west of the airport off the main road here, there's actually... Oh, DA-40. Heffy. In this spot here is Helicopters Australia. But you don't see it here, but there's a hangar and stuff there now. Right there. So you can see it's under construction when this satellite imagery was taken. Right here next to the equipment rental place. Let's set down there. Let's see if it'll kill us or not. Five R44s, 166, and a 22. And one AS350, it looks like you said? AS350, yeah. Ah, good collection. We'll make our approach directly across the street here. Looks like the least number of trees to deal with. As long as we stay to the left of this one, to the right of the other one. So all the traffic gets to see me coming down over here. On the ground, and now back off the ground. Hello, laggy. Nice kind of vertical and up with a full tank of fuel. Bada bing, bada boom. Do they mostly do tour stuff, or do they do like utility work and stuff as well? Is there another airport over here? Yeah, Yankee. I want to start a helicopter company called My Helicopter. And that way when anybody wants to hire me, they do sales, rentals, tours, and flight training. Oh, nice. But yeah, that way whenever anybody wants to Yankee Bravo Victor, it gives us one of those G1S15Ms. It's probably a 44 or something. That way when somebody's like, hey, could you come over here and do this thing? And just be like, yeah, let me get my helicopter to do it for me. And that way it just sounds cool, just like when you're saying like, hey, let's go to my favorite place. Or like the guy who named the bar, like, I don't know, wherever you want to go. So that way when your girlfriend's like, where do you want to eat? And you're like, I don't know, wherever you want to go or whatever. Then that's the place. We'd have the place called My Helicopter. So if you need something done, like you'll need a lifting job done or a utility thing, like, yeah, we'll just get My Helicopter to do it. Like people think that you have a helicopter, but really it's me with my helicopter. $40G3S18M. Whatever. Anyways. Onward we push. An hour and 20 minutes or something. I don't know. Actually, I'll set a direct out here also. To old Roma. $173 nautical miles. Got a heading of 289. I'm also kind of tempted you, your homie with the sling. I'm kind of tempted to buy a sling fixed wing. Because I think fixed wing would be relatively easy to get as well. It's just a matter of money. But it would be neat to get something like a sling that's becoming more and more commonplace as time goes on. You know, 150s and 172s and stuff, they're common. But the 150s are becoming... They're becoming more, not one, but the slings. They're becoming more common. More people are looking to buy something new because it's like, okay, cool. Like we could buy a 1967 Cessna 152 or a Cessna 172, but then you're buying something that's super, super old with the crazy amount of hours on it. With like you can do all the inspections and whatever that you want. But at the end of the day, like, there are members and pieces of the airplane that are going to be stressed that you can't say, or like that you can't see. So like they do need to be decommissioned. And while some flight schools will buy brand new 172s or whatever for training, they also hold on to them for fucking ever. If you're a flight school that can afford a new 172, you're probably going to stick around, and then for that, you're probably going to keep it forever. I feel like new Cessna customers are getting lower and lower as far as the private person or a non-companied sort of thing. Meanwhile, for people that are wanting something new, I think slings are the next big thing from everything that I've looked at. On top of like RVs, but RVs are still more experimental, feeling experimental-ish, like more of a pilot's plane versus more of a cruiser. So with that said, I think slings are super cool. They're not terribly expensive compared to like a new Cessna. But I wouldn't be opposed to getting fixed wing and buying a sling and then just straight up leasing it out. Like never fucking using it. Like leasing it to an flight school or something, so that way they can have something that's newer with a glass cockpit that they can offer training in that as well. You know? So that's in my thought process as well. I think I still want to do rotorcraft first, personally. Just because I don't have much desire to do fixed wing operation stuff. The only time I do is when I look at like Gear Down or somebody doing executive private jet sort of stuff. Then it looks more of the exciting side to me. Yeah, your schedule can be way off or whatever, but I don't want to say starting out, but more or less, like, if you get rated in a popular jet platform to where you can go and be a PIC or a full-time SIC or something, it's like, man, you're making $2,500 a day for your personal travel, personal expenses, and then the fee to fly the plane and stuff. Do that like 3 or 4 times a month, and you're way, way better off than most people. And that would be a quicker way to pay for rotorcraft, or it would pay for rotorcraft easier. But then I would have to go through all the stuff to get up to that point, which means fixed wing and probably being a flight instructor and doing that for however many hours, doing fixed wing stuff where my heart's just not in it. That's why it's kind of almost like get fixed wing, buy a plane, fly it some myself, but rent it to a place, and then build hours like that, you know. I don't know. A lot of ways to go about it. A lot of little airports along the way out here, looks like. Good news, guys. We're 1/10 of the way there from our last stop. We are in the exciting parts of Australia here. What the fuck do they farm out here, Tom? Like, do they raise dirt? Some of the best dirt known to man is grown out here. It's like I can't even pick a place on the horizon and fly to it because there's nothing out there. Little oasis over there. What's that to our left? A couple of trees. So it has a little farmhouse and driveway and everything. Yeah, that's that one there. We're looking at this one here. Yep, another little farmhouse area. Well, it doesn't look like a lot of things. It looks like a lot of fucking dirt. I'm just going to assume that the satellite imagery was taken shortly after growing season where they just harvested everything and there's nothing left. Also, do we have any favorable winds for us, or are we just going to kind of be chugging along here at 125, 130 the whole time? Because especially the next 2 or 3 days as we're making our way out to the nipple of Australia, I don't think there's a lot of stuff out here. It's probably very like middle America-ish of just being flat farmlands or a whole bunch of nothing. So if we can speed that up, that'd be sick. But if not, this is what I signed up for. Sorghum, wheat, barley, corn. No favorable winds. Fuck yeah. That's the news I like to hear. See, I'm going to pop back into panel real quick so I can see what ground speed is. It's dead winds. Maybe like a 1 knot to the tail, but not much. Okay. Back to being settled down. I should land at the airport on 2 of a hill. There's an airport out here? Or was it the one that we just passed? Oh no, that's Yankee Bravo. That's way back there. What's the airport code for it? Or is it something that's over there to the right somewhere? On top of a hill. So let's see, coming up we got Yankee Charlie Lima Sierra. We have Yankee Delta Alpha Yankee, Yankee Delta Alpha Charlie, YFIG. Yankee 5. It's not fun. Cool, give me my controls back. Let's see, YFIG, airport. How new is this fucking airport? Fig tree? Is that Fig Tree? Iron Gate Fig Tree Airport. Iron Gate Fig Tree Airport. We'll just do Fig Tree. Berry Hill. No, I'm not looking for fucking Berry Hill. It's in Georgia. No. Fig Tree County Retreat. I don't see an airport though. Weird. Yeah, I'm not showing me any fucking airport. Totally not heading the right direction either. That doesn't look like it's on top of a hill. Near that description. Unless we're talking like way up here somewhere. Yankee Juliet Bravo Romeo. That looks like an unimproved run. It's down. See, Yankee Charlie Lima Sierra. A lot of hills and stuff down that way, maybe? Hillish. You did it. It's probably a helipad. Yeah. Yankee Tango Alpha Alpha. That's right along flight path. Yeah, dude, it's not showing me it. I couldn't even get my fucking Google to show it to me. Cool. Let's see. Oh no, let's sit down here in these people's yard real quick so I can look up some more things. Pittsworth. Let's see, Pittsworth. There's Dalby. Okay, pardon me for a second, fellas. south of the city. That's a YPWH. And YFIG keeps defaulting me back to that. Dalby, Margot Robbie was born there. Oh, yep. Let's go sniff that place. But yeah, I'm only showing whatever Pittsworth or what shit, my phone. Shoo. I'm only showing Pittsworth Aerodrome or whatever. Let's see, let's get the headset settled back in. Honestly, I think we're like, yeah, that's all the way down here. We're way fucking past that. And even it was the part where it said it was kind of like here. I don't see no Yankee Foxtrot India Golf anywhere. Oh well. Also, is it just me or does Sydney Sweeney looks like she has Downs? And what's up with the fetishization of girls that look like they're on the syndrome scale? Truck. Huh, scared you, didn't I, bud? Immediately lose all my fucking followers. You talk shit on Sydney Sweeney? Like, yeah, she looks like she has fucking Downs. Good body, don't get me wrong. She got the things, she got the boingas and the boongas. But, she has a Downsy face. Also, we're in an A-star. I wonder if Clete was able to find one. He was looking for a B3, I think. Yep, you agree. There you go. Downsy ass woman. You think you're behind me a ways? Because we're going straight from whatever Zaboomafoo to Woomba to to Roma. I don't see you behind me. Okay, Wookiee, the next airport I'm getting to. I'm very close to Yankee Delta Alpha Charlie, YDAC. I'll swing up there for just a second. Yeah, basically fly west from Tuwu. Well, kind of like slightly north, but yeah, flying west from Tuwu. Wish I could click on these to see where they are. Yeah, I'm basically at Yankee Delta Alpha Charlie. Like 5 or 6 miles from that. Dalby? I believe so. I would assume with DA. I'm just looking at whatever my map is here. There's also a Yankee Delta Alpha Yankee, which might be the actual Dalby Regional, but there's one just to the west of it also. Alpha Charlie, which looks like a grass runway behind a farm. Looks like this if you're looking at the map on the servers. So I'm going to kind of head up to that. Okay, yeah, so if you look at Dalby then, if you go to the west of it, maybe 6 miles, that's where I be going. But I'm like directly southwest of Yankee Delta Alpha Yankee currently. That's back there. But I'm headed to the farm field for you. So FD414 above us. Also, where's the notification? Data warning. Don't need data warnings. I have unlimited. And also, Wookiee, there's a chance that I won't be able to see you. We've had Ace Driver follow me a couple of times, and he didn't show up for me for some reason, even though I'm in live to where I can do live players. I'll even recheck my server once I sit down up here. Select it down, cycle it back, evening her out here. Okay, we're sitting here at Yankee Delta Alpha Charlie. Let me know as soon as you spawn in so I can see if I can see you or not. And if I can't see you, but you're good to see me and follow me, then I'll just keep on going. Then maybe eventually you'll pop up on my sites, but Starlink does that, whatever. Shut down here. Why do I want to shut down? I actually have a twistable thing, so we'll come back to flight idle. BRT, be right there. Horn off. From southeast. Okay, everybody, since we're sitting here waiting for Wookiee to catch up to us, if you want to be a part of the Discord, we do have a Discord server where we kind of talk planes and helicopters, and when I start making more videos that are multi-shot matish, then we'll be talking about building stuff and whatever. If you want that, then go to the channel's description or about or whatever on the Multi-Shot Mat YouTube channel, and you can hop in that way. I have a link up. If someone hops in a factory helicopter, will it show up as that aircraft in the game? It should. So if they're flying one of the ones from Microsoft Flight Sim, it should show up as that one. So we're in the Cowan one, so he's going to see a plane. Damn it. So he'll see a plane. If we were in the factory 125, he would see us as the factory 125. I foreheaded it for a second. So if he's in one of the game ones, then we should see it like that. Which Ace Driver was always in the 145. I guess that was his thing. Wookiee, can you get in a factory helicopter so we can see you flying? I don't know, maybe he is in a factory helicopter. I still don't see him on the map yet. Let me check my server real quick. I said I was going to do that. Yep, we're still in the automatic East USA 51 millisecond ping. Gotta get tall again. Eli Friula Helicopter Center. Nobody's inside. What's your ETA looking like, Wookiee? I know you're flying, but whenever you get a second to move your hands around or whatever. I'll come over here and check out the ramp at this farm. One minute. Okay, cool. I don't see you on my map yet. So when you get here, you may have to check your server. A lot of 17s out here today. That's weird. And the Stagger Wing's a sexy airplane, so I'm glad they're putting it out here. So what is that yellow one over there? Hey, he's stealing some fuel. Hangar doors are clear. What is this yellow thing? There's two of them. Looks cool. Ass Cessna. Old Cessna twin engine. Interesting. Gonna come back out here to the taxiway intersection. You were in Llama helicopter? I don't see you. Is your server in the correct server? Oh, it's a spraying company base. Cool. Do they do helicopters, or is it just fixed wing? But yeah, Wookie, if you can see me and you're in the 51, or the East USA 51 millisecond server, then we're in the same area, but I can't see you. And that's just a thing with the game itself, so. But if you can see me and you want to follow along, then air tractors. Okay, cool. But yeah, if you can see me and you're ready to follow along, then I'll go ahead and get out of here. Switching to stock heli. Oh, okay. Cool. I'll wait for you to jump in. If you spawn in and I can see you, even fucking better. I think I'm East 151 millisecond, but I don't know how the millisecond shit works. I've never changed servers whatsoever here. I don't know if East Coast is East Coast or if it's whatever. Ace, my time's on live. What do you mean I have to adjust it a little bit? I always play live time. And see, now I lost live players. Or maybe you were talking to that guy. Okay, actually, I'm going to jump out real quick and then come back in to this airport since it took me off of live players right there. And I want to be actually live, so let's do that. Set to Roma. Right here. So yeah, I'm not in server right now, guys. Give me just a second. Set as arrival. We're live. Flight conditions. Live. Or I'll do all players on that. Live players available if you... What is this? A bug? Live players is available. If you don't change your time of day when selected, you only see live players are flying. If I do all players, then I should see all players, right? I'm going to leave it on live just because that's what we do. Cool. Okay, spawning back into ADAC or whatever the name of this fucking place is. Or YDAC. Dalby Airport, okay. What's the other one over there then? Dalby, okay. Dalby Airport. Sick. Look, another ass Cessna. See, battery on, anti-collision lights on, fuel pump on, starter going. Get rid of that thing. Tab. Where'd my tablet go? Huh. Oh well. Horn. Map. Cool. There we go. Yep, still not showing you here. You spawned in? Okay, basically back where we left off. But yeah, if you're in here and I don't see you, then I don't want to say I don't know what to tell you, but if you tell me you're good to go and you're hovering around and you're ready to fly, then I'm going to go and start heading to Roma. Maybe you'll pop up for me, but at least I know you're here. But yeah, just tell me that you're good to fly and we'll go. Yeah, like I said, even though we have the same settings, Ace has tried to fly with me a handful of times, which we did it a few times. But here recently, after Sim Update 2 or whatever, it won't show me him, so I'll do a quick little circle of this and we'll say you're good to go, and I'll start heading towards Roma. Don't see anything over here spawned in. Yeah, that sucks. And a big old crop dusty U-turn since this is a spray company. And off we go, guys. Let's do it. Onward to Roma. Anyways, Australia, am I right? Also, Ace, welcome in. Didn't say hello when you chimed in. I don't know what changing the servers looks like or anything, so I've never dealt with it. I've always just hopped in and flown, and the 1 or 2 times I've flown with somebody, he's one of my in real life homies, and he just invites me to a group, and we get in a chat, and we fucking yap it up. But our conversations are definitely not PG or streaming friendly, to say the least. I'm going to reestablish this direct to 129 nautical miles. Cool. About an hour, give or take. Not bad. A little bit of a descent, get our ponies up, and then we'll kind of use that as like an acceleration assist. And then we'll just slowly start adding the altitude back into it. Yeah, Tom, you just gotta get that Starlink and then spend the money on a setup and get the game and a computer and everything to make it work together. Or if you have a PS or a Xbox One S or One X or something, I can do crossplay with non-PC stuff. But then again, you're limited by internet speed as well. So yeah, I can crossplay with that. And even if it weren't to be an around the world session, if you wanted to get 2020 instead of 2024, it might be easier to run on a Xbox or whatever. But I do have that as well, so we could always do a shenanigan session in 2020. Then it'd be a matter of, it'd probably be like a joystick HOTAS setup that you would have, where you wouldn't have a collective. I don't know if there's any peripherals with like a collective and cyclic and stuff that actually works. Computer's fine, it's the internet, yeah. Starlink, I mean, I'm running it on Starlink here, and it should be more than fast enough there. Yeah, the big thing would be then, do you want to do it on like a $200 or $300 joystick setup where you can figure it out and make it work? Or do you want to spend the money at that point to get a, like the Apache Simulators one, like I have, or like one of the Puma Pro X's or Puma X Pro, whatever it is, or handful of different ones. What's this, oil-filled shit? Yeah, I'm not going to say it would help your flying, because I don't have a frame of reference. But I think it's a good way to put yourself, just like I've said a million times, it's a zero repercussion machine that you can stick yourself into. It's like, I can knock autos out, that's no big deal. But not that you're ever going to be in a reverse auto situation, but getting your mind to wrap around airflow in completely different directions. Or getting to play around, getting to fuck around, getting to go see places you've never been. Getting to fly more aggressively. Because obviously you're not going to get in a fucking 22 or 44 and start trying to cut the grass with your main rotor. I have my gamer tag in the description as well, the Paseo Ranger or whatever. If you add me, I might be able to invite you to a group, I think. We can try, but yeah, that's my, you can see my gamer tag, it's in the description as well. So you can add me and let me know when you do that. And then I'll sit down and approve it or whatever and see if I can get that to add to a group. Okay, let me get here on the other side of these trees. I'll land next to this water. Or past the water, it looks safer. This is it. This is it. I've got this and I've got Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. That's it. Like, my Xbox is a Xbox 3... No, I have an Xbox One. Do I? I don't even know where my Xbox is. It was here next to my TV for a bit, but I think I moved it because I never used it anymore. But for that I had... Oop, I received a friend request. I see it. So let's see, I'll sit down real quick. We'll do it up here at one of these spots in the field. Yeah, no other games. This is it. Because I had, like, the only other ones I've ever really been interested in was driving games. Because then I could, like, autistically sit on the same track and just do hundreds of laps in, like, 100th of a second my time each time, like, perfecting the laps. I'll take this little lighter colored spot here. Hello. Little VRS and a fucking Vashard technique to pop out of that shit. Hell no. Not gonna fucking get me. I mean, I was unaware of what happened. I was ascending faster than what my blades could keep up with, basically. Okay, we're bumped in there. Let's see. Bellaramus. Invite to group. Okay, but I sent you a group invite. Current group. But yeah, if you just send faster than what your... basically what your rotors can keep up with, you get into a thing called vortex ring state. Got it? Cool. And vortex ring state is basically flying into your own wake, and you can start descending faster and faster, and regardless of how much collective you put into it, you can't get out of it. So yeah, I invited you to the group. I don't know what happens next, honestly. Group invitation received. Accept. Resume. Are you in current weather? It looks like it went clear. Yeah. Yeah, set the weather to present. What are you doing? You can't be messing me up like this. Yep, settling with power, also known as. Yeah, I'm gonna put you in my group instead. Because we gotta do current weather, we can't do this clear shit. Yeah, so take my invite. Then you get in here. Then you're in here. But yeah, we got to do that live weather shit. Anyways, yep, settling with power. Anyways, you're flying into your own wake, basically. I'm gonna go and take off, dude. We got to move. There's a plane behind me. There's something behind me. Oh, no. VH Yankee Bravo, Romeo 42. But yeah, so there's two ways to get out of settling with power. One is pretty much just push forward. But that's really only good when you've got a little bit of altitude with you. The reason for that is pushing forward's a way to gather airspeed. Getting airspeed when you're pushing forward means you're descending pretty quickly. And if you're near the ground, no bueno. So Richard or Vishar technique is power pedal and shifting yourself out of the downwash that you're in to get you into clean air. And it's the technique that you should use when you're at a lower altitude. Typically, you don't want to put yourself into that scenario. I was definitely playing risky there. There's nothing against old Wookiee here, but I've sat around a lot in this stream, and I want to keep progress going. But, yeah, so the general rule of thumb is to, as long as you're outside of, or you want to try to stay above 30 knots forward airspeed and below 300 feet per second descent rate, and that will keep you out of ETL, or not ETL, out of settling with power or out of vortex ring state. What I did there, I pretty much was doing my deceleration from going pretty quickly, and I was adding collective, and also you have to have some collective in to be in VRS. Although you can start falling quickly, then add collective and possibly be in VRS. You can't, part of the requirements of it is to be like at least 20% collective or pitch angle or something like that. But anyways, I was definitely not doing a low forward airspeed. If it's below 30 knots, you shouldn't, yeah. Yeah, those are the safer ways to do it. Like when you see I'll even call it that sometimes when I'm doing a descent into a place. I call it the air medical descent. So let's say we want to land at the fork in the road up here, or the fork in these two paths. What EMS will do, they'll typically come in and they'll slow down way out here, and they'll get to whatever their approach point is, and they'll do a very, very steep angle, but they're keeping their descents slow enough, which you can see my bottom right gauge is 300-ish foot per minute down, and like very slowly forward, which I don't really have a spot that I'm aiming for because it kind of disappears when we get close to it up here. But anyways, they have a very steep, very slow approach because they're trying to clear obstacles, and if there's an engine failure, it gives them a better chance to come in for to do an auto rotation, because then you have the room to tilt in and get some forward airspeed and flare and put your pitch back in. But usually, like if you're approaching a runway or whatever, you're doing like a 5-degree approach coming in. But yeah, 3,300 is the rule to keep yourself out of VRS. But what I did was definitely not I was definitely going faster than 300 foot per second down, and definitely was going slower than 30 knots airspeed. And I had to do my little power pedal and slap the cyclic to the side shuffle, and it brought us into some fresh, clean air, and we didn't smack our skids into the ground. And they typically don't teach the Verschard technique. But from people that I've listened to talk about it, they say it's a good thing to know. Because a lot of times if something happens to where you do get into a VRS or a settling with power scenario, there's a chance that you may not have the altitude to give yourself a push forward. So it's a good backup to know. That's why in that one over there, I didn't even attempt to push forward. It was strictly get it to the side. Which honestly, I did it kind of wrong back there. I did power pedal into the right. You're supposed to do to the opposite of what your pedal is. And the thought process with that is, when I put in right pedal, or the thought process is, when I put in right pedal, you can see that it pushes the tail that direction. And when I move my cyclic to the left, it moves the helicopter to that direction also. So you're kind of using all available control surfaces of the helicopter to move you out of that scenario situation, that rotor wash area. I caught the VRS pretty early, so I was able to kind of twist and huck my way out of it. But really, it's an opposite thing that you need to do to get yourself out of it. But yeah, there's y'all's piloting lesson thing for the day. Tom, have you ever got to experiment with the Verschard technique? Or is it pretty much just the standard get into settling of power, then push forward and get out of it because y'all are doing the training with altitude? And I know they say don't try the Verschard technique unless you have somebody who's trained to teach the technique. Because it almost becomes one of those, oh, I saw somebody do it online, so let me try to do it and see if I can figure it out. And if you fuck it up, you fuck it up and it's bad. So they say to only do it with somebody who's well versed in it. What do you think of it? You think it's a good option? I mean, like I was saying, it's obviously an altitude dependent sort of thing. I mean, the big thing is just don't put yourself in that fucking scenario to begin with, you know? But here in the zero repercussion machine, we get a little bit wishy-washy sometimes. Oh, yeah. And it's... You do have to be... I don't want to say you have to be dumb to get into VRS, because I just did. But like I said, I do play much looser in this game than I would fly in real life. Because like I said, it's a zero repercussion machine, and I would rather find what the limits are and start building the correct things to say, like, okay, cool, I'm in an emergency, let me look here, make sure starter's on, do this, fuel's good, and like, I want to start working through the processes in a way where I'm not worried about it in the future, or I don't have to think twice about it. The fuel pump should only be on for takeoff and landing. But in the factory H125, I think if you turn the fuel pump off, it turns the helicopter off, which that shouldn't be. The fuel pump's just a boost pump. .100 nautical miles. Yeah, don't get yourself into it. Be cool to your approaches. You're already in a helicopter, so you already got there way fucking faster than somebody driving or in a plane where they have to land somewhere and then get in a car. And when you're in a helicopter, you can go straight to the place. You don't need to rush in there and have the world's most straight in and hit the fucking spot landing. Unless you're military and doing whatever, but at that point, you know, like you go through special training for very high, I don't want to say high speed approaches, but more aggressive, straight to point approaches. And usually then you have cover of darkness or cover of element of surprise or suppressive fire as well, so you don't have to go wham and smack right into it, you know. But yeah, shared cockpit would also be fun. And I've been saying it for a while too, like this would be a neat platform, especially if you could do like shared cockpit, shared controls, to where you could have two people in here flying and then fucking do an interview or something like that. That would be choice. Yankee Tango Alpha Alpha on the left down here. Oh. I never even pressed enter on this fucking thing. Oh, beep. Oh, you're already in? Where me map? Oh well. Ah. Oh. Oh. I didn't know I could turn on that. What's over here? Oh. Interesting. Very cool. I like having a radar altimeter though. It's a cool thing. Bring our decision height down to like 100 feet. Timer there too. A little bit more choppy sounds. Very cool. Our heading still like 290, perfect. I'm curious what all these spots are out here. I'm assuming it's oil or drilling or something like that. That would make the most sense. Yankee Whiskey India Mike. Oh. Yeah, either way, 0-0 repercussion machine is... I call this that for a reason, because I can fly a bit more loose, a bit more willy-nilly, and have fun with it. But also put myself in situations that I wouldn't do normally, you know, like big wind or punching through a cloud or something like that and getting a little bit of IFR in, which I wouldn't do in real life unless IFR certified and really have the training outside of some dude sitting in his fucking gaming room in the basement, you know. Which one of you fuckers is yawning, making me yawn? Yeah, that's gotta be oil, right? Looks like a big weight on one side. Yeah. Oh, a lot of fucking oil fields out here, though. Maybe we should invade you and help you take care of all this. Let Israel deal with Israel shit. Ain't our fucking problem. Dude, how many fucking bodies are just out here in these fucking woods? Like oil workers getting drunk and doing fucking meth. Oopsie, killed a hooker. Well, let's just take her out here to the field. Ain't nobody been out here in fucking hundreds of years except for on the roads and at the pumps. Oh, gas, natural gas. Got it. Something flammable. Oh. I know there's a road that's south of Houston, Texas. I forget what they call it. It's like, I won't call it Murder Highway or something. But it's just like this rural-ass road or highway that kind of goes down towards the Gulf Coast. Or down towards Galveston or something. And like there's been a lot of bodies discovered on that road. Because it's like, okay, cool, like get out of the city, come down here where there's like high humidity and animals and moisture and stuff. So it like just helps the body degrade faster. And people just go out there and dump their shit. And so they've discovered a lot of bodies on this particular corridor, and it's like known for that. What a good thing to be known for. Like, oh yeah, they find bodies out here all the time. They found one near me once. It was like what was it? So I was coming home and I saw, or like leaving somewhere that morning, or that afternoon or whatever, I had seen some police cars and fire department and stuff, like kind of off the highway, like on a frontage road next to the highway. Didn't think anything about it. I don't care. Not my business. Anyways, they come home a few hours later and see a news van parked at the gas station. Not one I usually go to, but parked at a gas station there. And I'm like, okay, cool. I only need like 2 gallons of gas. I was pretty much fucking full. I was like, I'm gonna come over here and pretend to pump some gas and see what happens. And I come over and the news people are standing there and they walk over like, hey, you live around here? It's like, yeah, I live just across the road over here. They go, did you hear about the body that they found in the suitcase? I was like, yeah, somebody was telling me about that. That's wild. And I had no fucking clue. I was just bullshitting it. But Do you mind if we do like a quick interview and ask you some questions? Yeah, sure. They do normal, like, okay, what's your name? My name is Matt this, and Matt Multi-Shop. Like, okay, cool, could you spell that for us? M-A-T-T and M-U-L-T-I-S-H-O-P, and of course they butchered it in the fucking, whatever, they spelled my last name completely wrong, even though I spelled it for them. Whatever, you know, it's funny. And, I made up a fucking story like, oh yeah, I heard about it, and he was asking the question like, so what'd you hear? It's like, well, you know, I've lived down here and the word gets around pretty quick, but you definitely know everything about this. Yeah, I left the body there, duh. It's like, yeah, I heard I got a couple of uncles and cousins around here, and one of them had called my grandmother, and she called my mother, and she told me about this, and yeah, it's wild that this thing pops up. I never would have known. You know, it's a quiet area down here. Nothing like this ever happens. This is just unexpected. But yeah, so I did a fucking goofy ass news interview. But it's funny, in North Georgia, whenever it starts snowing, the news always goes to this one gas station. If you follow 985 up out of town, there's like a point when it stops becoming a controlled access highway and just starts becoming just like a 2-lane one way, 2-lane the other way, with intersections and red lights and crossroads and everything. Anyways, whenever it starts snowing, he goes up to that gas station because the news always comes up to that gas station. And he's been on the news like 5 or 6 times in the past like 4 years whenever it happens. And he always uses a different name or whatever, but he always gives like the same fucking interview, and it's like a meme going on with the car community up in the area. Because the one dude's always getting up there, so he's always trying to give them different names and shit for it. Nobody's figured it out because there's like 4 or 5 different news stations that will go up and do it. A little house down there in the middle of the field. Yep. I wonder what they saw to make that little house down there. They just got one of these shapes looks square enough for them to say like, cool, we turned it into a house. Don't know. Hey, there's Roma up there. Still 70-something miles away, but, you know, we're still doing it. Still a thing. Yeah, why not have fun with the news cruise, you know? Why, they don't know anybody. It's gonna be a fucking 10-second thing on TV and nobody's ever going to remember it. You see me on map now? Are you in like big map or are you in game yet? Because I don't see anything else around me. Oh, I think it's possible to like spawn on the person also. Weird. Weird. They need to fix that. Oh well, back on course. If you spawn up in front of me somewhere between where I am and Roma, you can spawn airborne and I'll catch up with you. Allegedly. Which, did my group invite ever go through to you? Because I know I joined yours, but then you put me in a... Or it bumped me into a non-live weather thing. Let's see, I'm not even showing live players now. Oh well. Whatever, I've still got fucking 80 more days of doing this, so... If you don't get in tonight, you'll get in some other time. We've got a lot more of these things to go. And probably a lot more exciting days as well. Like I said, I feel like Middle Australia is equivalent-ish to Middle America, where it's just flat and roads and farming and an occasional river and an occasional tree and an occasional hill. What was right here? Must be a tree or something. Yeah, definitely long shadows on the trees. Ugh. But yeah, back into it. So, Tom, what's left for you to get up to commercial? Just hours and testing? Have you already started doing any ground school stuff for commercialing? Or is it, or are you pretty much already ground schooled up just because of the nature of family and friends? And also I heard somewhere that there was a way to go like straight to commercial. Might have been a different country. But I heard or saw something somewhere where you could just do like 105 hours or 100 hours or whatever and just go straight to commercial and skip all the private shit. Which, of course, you'd be private, certified, whatever, at that point, but... all the theory and hours, okay. Do hours count to the helicopter stolen, as long as you log it? I'm just saying, I could go snag a 22... fly-in class golf to where I don't have to say or report anything and just bippity boopity bop bop around, log a shit ton of hours, return it. Just saying, could be a thing. Thor, bud, you doing okay over there? Good. There's still little remnants of storming sound outside, and brother's dog just does not deal with storms. It's not his thing. Four months in theory. You can do that there? Okay, yeah. And is that like a... I don't want to say college course, but do you have to attend like a very dedicated school for it, or is it something where you can be a full-time employee doing a job somewhere or living your own life, but then just pay a flight instructor to come in, or do like your own studying or something at night? Or does it have to be like a 4 to 6 hours a day of studying at a flight school? Because I feel like there's a difference of 4 months of theory of me doing it for 2 hours a night when I'm lifting weights versus somebody who's, you know, going to class at 9 o'clock and leaving at 3 or 4 o'clock. You think of World War III, how you just fly up in the sunset? Dude, if World War III happens, there's a high chance that I'm just going to go to, like, southern Alabama, since they're going to be sending people off, and I'm just going to take one of their UH-72s. Because, like, the downside with the military, I'm not going to say the downside, it's probably a good thing. But a thing with the military is, here, at least, you have to be an officer to fly. Like, okay, cool, so you want people who are educated or whatever. I didn't go to college, you know, like, I don't want to say there's nothing in college for me, but, like, I can't mentally think of some reason why I'd want to go to college. Even when I was younger, it's like, okay, cool, like, nothing I want to do, like, requires college degrees. You gotta do a flight school full-time. Oh, okay. So yeah, it's like, okay, cool, what if let's say I'm commercially rated, have 5,000 fucking hours of flying, with 2,000 of those being in a fucking a UH-60 Blackhawk doing utility work. Why wouldn't I be able to go into like an emergency draft scenario for the military and go fly the UH-60? Like, cool, I don't have college, but guess what? I have more flight hours than pretty much anybody in the military does in a platform that the military operates. Why couldn't I? Which I feel like those rules wouldn't change with the draft. They'd still be like, oh, no college education, you're going to be a grunt. Fuck you. You're going to lose more people trying to drag me into a draft than you are just letting me be here and be myself. Because I'm not fighting for fucking Israel. I'll defend homeland. I'm not going anywhere else. Although I have kind of thought that I would go to... If I could figure out a full-time flight school that would be like a college program like Embry-Riddle or something down in Daytona Beach. Because Florida would be nice. Like, I'd like to be on a beach. Sun, warm weather, high density altitude, or, well, low density altitude. Low altitude, high density. Like, I don't want to say that I would, but if I could figure out some way to either have my own side business or something to where I could work part-time but still make pretty damn good money and go do something like a college course, but like really just focus on the flying part and then get like I could probably test out of a lot of courses that I wouldn't have to do just because you learn so much more in real life. So I could probably test out a majority of math and science and social courses and stuff like that and get my credits for that. But if I could get a bachelor's in like aviation business management or something like that, then I would consider it. But I'd have to be able to test out of like 80% of my courses just because of, you know, world and life knowledge. It says I'm offline. Maybe because when I joined your group thing, it bumped us off of live things since you didn't have all your weather settings to live. So now I'm not set for live players. Although I do have live weather, live everything. But, yeah. I don't know. And I'll look at the settings later, too. Like I said, there's 100 more fucking episodes of this shit. And then more episodes of other stuff, too, of shenanigans. And I want to do a Pan American series eventually going from Antarctica all the way up to Alaska. It's like there's going to be plenty more flight days. And it's all going to be like 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern time to 1 o'clock or whatever. But yeah, I'm online. It's just... I think when I joined your group, it threw it off. Because I had sent you a group invite, but you sent one back or something. I don't know. Yeah. Whatever. I walk a lonely road. I fly a lonely road. 55 nautical miles to go, and we're doing at least 110 knots, so it's 30 minutes. And then I have desperately got to FBO myself for a much longer period than typical. So we'll probably land and call it a good sign-off for the night. I also kind of need to shift my schedule a wee bit, because I got a couple of early days this week. I think a slightly darker green would give this the Castrol look. And the farther we get out here, the more and more rural, obviously the more rural it gets. Are there any big, like more inland towns? Because there's like Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, all the coastal towns, Perth on the other side. But are there like any big interior towns down here in Australia or cities? I don't think I've ever heard of any. And if you say one, there's a chance I probably never heard. I think those are like the only towns I've ever heard of. Let's see, we gotta cross this big old forest thing. Little field, little secondary forest. Like a whole bunch of river run type stuff, and then we're there. Kind of following this road that's kind of at an angle-ish in front of us. That'll take us through. I wonder what's out here. It just doesn't have all the little pockets of gas wells. It's just roads. Oh, you missed all that. I was gonna say, are there any big are there any other big Australian cities or towns that would be more, I don't say known worldwide, but it's like I pretty much just know coastal towns. Sydney, Melbourne, Gold Coast, Sunshine, Brisbane, Perth. Are there any like bigger inland towns or inland cities, or is like 90% of Australian population just on the coast? $354 gallons or liters, pounds, something. Only 5 big-ish, about the size of Toowoomba. So yeah, pretty small and probably nothing that's been... or nothing that's really known to people outside. Because, like, I haven't heard of Toowoomba. Which I feel like America, like, of course we have, like, New York, Miami, Los Angeles. Chicago and Detroit, pretty popular. They're inland, but they're kind of on, like, the Great Lakes. Atlanta's pretty popular. Houston, Dallas, Texas, Austin, Texas, those are all inland. Las Vegas is inland. Of course, that's like a worldwide tourist destination as well. I'm trying to think of what other big towns would be, like, known. I feel like Denver, Colorado is kind of known for reasons I don't fucking know. Like, I feel like America's got a big number of known towns. And I'm trying to look at it, like, as a view from somebody on the outside. Do I expect people to know where any of those fucking places are? No. Like, I've seen the videos of an Australian or a European or whatever trying to draw a map of the U.S. and, like, or name all the 50 states. Or label the 50 states or whatever. It's like, cool, I'm not expecting a geography expert to come in and just fucking nail it. Like, I couldn't tell you the fucking states of Australia. All I know is, like, Queensland and New South Wales. Yeah, just a big fucking unknown place down here. But then again, like you said, there's no giant cities or towns on the interior of the country. Then there's not a lot of reasons for people to know about the interior of the country. Self-fulfilling prophecy. We don't know anything about it. Well, there's nothing to know, so there's nothing to know, so nobody knows, and nobody knows because there's nothing to know. Okay, we've made it halfway through this screen. Let's shuffle that now. Dude, and living out here, like, on this more remote sort of size, or remote areas like this, there's probably a lot of self-sufficiency that goes along with living out here. I assume there's probably not much that they'll ever need to go get from a store. Or if they do, it's not like you're going there every week to go get stuff, or like people who live in town where they go buy the food for their dinner that they make daily. Like, cool, let's just run by the shop on the way home and grab some steak and some spices and whatever. Like, no, it's probably everything that you need, you have or you make or you gather yourself. It definitely looks like floodplain area up here, though. Like the way the geography is just kind of like washed away here. It's like, yeah, it is kind of marked and cut for fences and stuff, but it looks like the water has a good deal to do with all of that. Okay, go back on track, back on track. No more lollygagging. Especially when there's only 34 nautical miles left. Gotta lock in and focus. Those are the exact same things. Let's see, what else is new here? I think I'm going to do a whole redesign of at least of this half of this room and space down here, because I've got a desk that I work on stuff at, which is just kind of becoming a catch-all where I throw shit on top of. Got the sim, TV, couches, got some storage on the wall for like a big shelving thing where I've got big like Rubbermaids and shit. I need to redo the storage and stuff because I'd like to leave the workout equipment set up full time. Just not a lot of room in this area, so I need to try to figure out how to optimize that or to make it nicer to move shit in and out. But I want to do it as a multi-shot map project, obviously. A lot of little things I want to do. I feel like this is going to be the next 3 days. This right here. We'll get excited when we see like a hill and trees like right here. Well, there are some mountains and stuff up there on to the northwest. Let's see. There's like no fucking houses out here either. Oh, there's one building over there. Like, let's see. They'd have to get fuel. Obviously, they're farming this. I doubt they're using mules and pull behind stuff to farm. So there has to be fuel. There's probably like auto parts and like, I don't want to say just farm supplies, but some sort of parts stored where you can get parts for tractors and equipment, hardware, tools, shit like that. Because I feel like I was saying, that like this area's got to be super, super self-sufficient. Probably bars. Probably like bars in these towns do pretty fucking good, I would assume. You can definitely see water path through here. Ooh, we're getting almost through this screen. So I get at a 2.74 mile zoom. As we go out to 5 miles, we see the whole thing. But we want to keep it like we're making these big progress jumps here. Because flying like this for a long time feels like nothing. But when you see that after 5 minutes you're right here, you feel much better. You do realize that there's towns within 2 hours of 90% of Australians. Oh yeah, I'm not saying like you're a bazillion miles away from everything. But I'm not going to say there's like a lack of stuff to do in the towns. There's probably not a lot to do in the towns that are more local to you. Like obviously if you're doing like the 2-hour journey to get somewhere, you're probably going to like a decently sized town, handful of restaurants, handful of stores, but like any of like your smaller localities, there's probably not much. And like you're really planning your trips into the big cities, the bigger towns. Like you're just not going to go to your 2-hour away town every day just like, ooh, let me go run to the store real quick. It's like, nope, Saturday is go to the store day. a lot more purposeful. Or I can just imagine that the entire interior is just one giant pile of red dirt just spread across the whole region. Also, can anybody tell me why there's always trees along a fence line? There is a reason. Even if you build it out in the middle of a field, there will be trees along the fence line. If you happen to see bigger, thicker lines through places, it's probably because there's some sort of man-made something, being power lines, a fence line, something. I mean, hell, there's a big field on the side of my road on the way to my neighborhood. It used to have a nice, clean view into the field, but now it's just like fucking full of trees and bushes and shit, and you can't see the pretty field anymore, which sucks. Anyways, the scientific answer, 100% confirmed, or whatever, is bird shit. Birds fly, they eat seeds from the ground. Nope, not natural post. It's birds. Birds eat their seeds. They fly, they sit on stuff, they shit. And little plants and trees and stuff pop up, and if they're not trimmed and taken care of, they turn into bigger trees and bushes and whatever. But yeah, bird shit. You can use that one to impress your next date. We're almost halfway through this screen too. Advance forward, hell yeah. Look at that, 16 miles. We'll zoom in again. Hey, there's a plane coming from in front of us. Hell yeah. Where you at, homie? Oh, no. Not why people make fences, but why trees just seem to spawn near fences. And power lines and stuff like that as well. If a bird can land on it, a bird can shit from it. And if a bird can shit from it, there's a chance that there's a seed in it. Pretty high chance that there's a seed in it. RXA. What's RXA? Is that one of your locals? SF34. Okay. RXA5722. RXA5722. Regional Express Airlines. Took off from Charlieville and headed to Brisbane. What sort of plane is that? Saab 340. Oh, okay. Saab's low wing, isn't it? Pretty sure it's low wing. I think we actually have a Saab 340 in the game. Also, the other day, when the storm was coming through, I still wanted to do some flying. But I wanted to fly a turboprop high wing like a PTR, which there's not in the game. The only turboprop high wing, other than a Cessna 408 Courier, is a Heart Aerospace something. And you go, okay, cool, Heart Aerospace. I don't think I've heard of them before. Me neither. But what it was is the two outer engines are turboprops. The two inner engines are electric. Okay, cool, interesting. I don't know if they exist in real life or if they're like certified or whatever yet, but it's in the game. I'd much rather would have had in freaking 72 or like the Casa 235, 295 something. Some other cool turboprop twin engine high wing. Beechcraft 350. The King. Okay, Roma traffic. I assume it's traffic. I don't think there's a tower. Well, it might be. I'm just going to say Roma traffic. Okay, Roma traffic. This is helicopter 420 Foxtrot Whiskey, call sign Fuckwagon. We are... Are there any helipads? Big X right there. Probably shouldn't park there. Oh, there's a helicopter here. There's a 5-blade. That's a big fucker. What would that be? Any guesses? This boy right here, obviously a 5-blade. Couple of towers right there. Seeing some more cars and civilization, very cool. Love to see it. Life Flight, AW139. I assume they got a base over here. That makes sense. A very flight headquarters. Roma traffic. And this cannot come quick enough. Because I'm going to go into this FBO bathroom. And I'm going to lock the door and leave a sign on the outside that says, "Do not come back. Please allow a 4-hour cooldown after the last user." No, but it's just the fuel pumps. Oh, okay. I figured somebody would be based out here. It might just be easier to keep them based at the on the coast and bring them in, or coast-ish. Where it might not be worth it to keep one out here, because it may be needed way in one direction, way in the other direction, where it'd be quicker if they were just feeding off the coast. Oh no, dude, I'm literally like inches from shitting my pants. We will be calling it here at Roma. We'll drop by there tomorrow. The base at Toowoomba. Oh, okay. Dude, flying doctor's a weird concept. It's not something that's like really done here in the U.S. Most of the stuff here, it's either like flight nurses and paramedics, and they pick you up and they bring you to a hospital. Very rarely is it get a doctor to you, and then if they need to transport you, they transport you. But I've noticed that like in the UK and Australia and stuff like that, or really Europe, they have a lot of flight doctors where if somebody's having a stroke or a heart attack and they're trying to get an ambulance out there, the ambulance may be 45 minutes away, but a helicopter could be like 7. And even if they're just going to get an ambulance ride to a hospital 25 minutes away, it's worth it to get the doctor there at that like rapid pace to get them stabilized and then decide if they want to move them from there with a ground transport or air transport. Nice little approach in, happy with that. Rolling the throttle down here. See, get rid of that. Turn the horn off because I know we're losing that. Pitot off, we can go and hit this avionics off. Ginny off. Turn you off there. Let that start going down. We don't need that gauge. We don't need that gauge. We'll get rid of those. Yeah, 15-hour drive, that's for sure. And kind of what I said, of course, like a lot of people in Georgia, depending on where you're at in the state, they'll fly you to Atlanta because we have the better trauma center, or Emory's got like a very good brain center if something happens to your brain, like a stroke or something like that. Like we have different hospitals that are better suited for different things. If it's a serious burns, you go to Augusta, to the doctor's hospital in Augusta, and they actually bring people from like way out of state for that because it's so good apparently. That's right, this one doesn't work here. Does it work with a mouse? Nope. Okay, cool, whatever. We'll shut the battery down then. Shift C. Okay, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to Matt Sits in a Helicopter and Flies Around the World while talking to the abyss. This is part 39, I think. So we should be doing this tomorrow. It'll be a shorter run tomorrow if I can try, or an earlier one because I've got to get up much earlier Wednesday. Yeah, so that's it for today. Everybody get into the FBO, go find a hotel. Go enjoy the rest of your night. But as for me, that's going to be it. And yeah, thank you for tuning in, everybody. See ya. Oh yeah, and Discord in my